then I would say that the next big transition happened in 2002 when KritiKal got formed. Okay, so I had a small role in terms of being a head and inviting the Professor Sengupta, Dr. Sengupta, who was the managing director, to the department. And of course, KritiKal's journey is a very interesting journey because I personally believe that we were completely underprepared to do a startup. But it was all emotional. If our students, so the only thing that drove us to do this was if our students could do it in Silicon Valley, why not in India? Okay, so I think this is perhaps a very weak reason to do a startup, but but considering that was the situation, and all the students perhaps also were equally enthused by this idea of doing a startup in India, and the faculty were, and with 12 of us forming a company, and even this slow decision making, lot of issues about objectives, lot of issues about what projects to pursue, what not to pursue. So I think there are a lot of and we really didn't have a very strong product idea or even an understanding of the market, and so there are a lot of things which were clearly I would never give this as a case study of how to do a startup.
We can do a case study of
not what what are the things you should not do when you want to.
You made all the mistakes, right? Initially,
so we made a lot of mistakes. We learned from those mistakes, and
But on this, perhaps I can share, because I was 22 years old at that point, graduating from dual degree computer science here, which was the first dual degree batch. Professor Balakrishnan and Professor Anshul Kumar and other co-founding professors of KritiKal had taught me and other students who were the student founders of KritiKal. And so I remember at that time you were the HOD and you sent this mail, I think few months before we were graduating out. So before that, the idea of course for us was like take up a job or go for higher studies. In my case, I was applying for a PhD, etc. And your mail, I don't know if you remember, but it had something very like challenge and adventure sort of thought built into it. This mail was just to attend a talk by Dr. Sengupta in FITT, which would be about how can you do a startup, how can you open a company. So there are many talks which generally keep on happening. This was mostly there would be technical talks on some tech topic. This was a very different one, but it came from you, and therefore it probably went to the entire department, to faculty members as well. And then some of us, of course, landed up. So, I would say that was the first event I can link to KritiKal. And then, of course, multiple things happened. So please.
Yeah, and this particular mail, the origin of this mail is also in one of the committees, some place I met Dr. Sengupta. Dr. Sengupta was very frustrated. He says that we have an incubator, but nobody from IIT is applying to this incubator. We have only 2 companies. Both these companies are perhaps trying to use IIT brand name to just take up their agenda, but the technology is... So I strongly believe there's an incubator in IIT. It should actually be, at least substantial part of it should be the IIT technology that should be incubated. And so this discussion went, and then I told Dr. Sengupta, why don't you come and at least talk to our students, because perhaps most of them don't even know that such an opportunity.
We did not. Yeah.
So KritiKal clearly has played a huge role in creating the incubation ecosystem in the campus. There is no doubt about it. Okay, so whatever mistakes we made or whatever, let's say, limitations we had in terms of doing a successful startup, those are part. But the fact that yes, some young people took that risk, and decided to, I'm sure they all had very lucrative alternative careers, traditional careers with a dual degree in computer science. So they decided to venture into this. Itself was a very big, let's say, a role model for a very large number of students in CS and even outside CS.